pistol round. I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to break down all sorts of narratives circulating around these teams. But the big one is that EDG are under a tremendous lot of pressure. They need to have a good, strong opening.
They absolutely do. Those Chinese fans can be brutal. And EDG have seen so many other squads from China have success recently. They want a taste of that themselves again. FUT was stacking up over towards C at the start of this pistol round, and it looks like they're playing A towards a bit of a retake setup. Both teams playing a breach, seeing Cracks hold the fault line.
Just in cases here, Simon's going to go for that plant. Full stick, nothing to push that away as well. Plant against the backside of the wall, holding the flash as well for backside fight with Kang already in that spot and position.
EDG love to get aggressive on these Lotus post plants.
Let's see if they've got anything clear in the one-way fault line. And the paranoia, right clicks, a bit of panic settling in. Chichu trying to cover it just over the shoulder as well. Kang still alive. It's off to the side here, making sure that he can hold this one back, but already getting overwhelmed and swarmed by the FUT players with that front sight control. They've taken out almost everybody. Smoggy, last one to be alive here, and Crack sticking at the fuse. No way! That's a leap by Smoggy, and what an opener that this EDG team needed.
Great play there towards the end. He got enough chip damage on the first try of going at things. Both of those players super weak. It made the frenzy very useful in that spot. Nice Red Bull clutch that Smoggy pulls out early on. Like you said, very needed. Other than that, their post-plant aggression didn't really work. It looked like FUT's coordination on the retake was working as well. EDG needed someone to come up huge.
Smoggy was the man for the job.
I'll tell you in general, FUT love contacting around places. It's not a high utility composition that they're running here. You don't have the raise, you don't have the fade, you just got a breach.
Yeah.
And they normally save that utility for like big retakes or big executes, depending on what side they're on. So there's going to be a lot of raw gunfights happening. And when you have that kind of clash between teams like this, form is crazy important. Whether the EDG and FUT players are feeling it today and can access their full potential. And in terms of the peaks that we've seen, players in this server have just put on absolute God mode tournaments occasionally.
We'll see if those individuals are firing off. EDG are making this one. It's quite cautious at the beginning into this eco round. Of course, they don't want to give away any lives unnecessarily. Cena gets at least 2 chances there to potentially rip off some heads, but he's back at the site here and with only the Sheriff in hand. Wouldn't be too much danger. Yeah, he's cleaned up, so EDG going for that plan at this point here. There's a bit of time as well. I mean, we've already kind of briefly mentioned how unorthodox these compositions are. These teams, you know, FUT and EDG, they have been playing it in their regions. It's not like we've seen this for the first time.
No, but we haven't seen them clash against each other.
Yeah.
EDG's comp, in my opinion, is really attack-sided, crazy attack-sided. And then when EDG go onto defense, they try to save up, get an operator into Kang's hand, and they're like, would you mind winning us a few rounds with the op? Because the actual compositional setups are not that great on the defense. So I'm expecting EDG here to run up the scoreline at least to a comfortable level for them. And if they don't, they might be in a bit of trouble.
EDG just going to be going down to the spike here, so another one followed up by EDG, putting that second round on the board.
I also think it's really remarkable that, I mean, maybe it's not remarkable because they've got G2 and PaperX in their group, but the community had both of these teams as like 25%ers, 3rd and 4th in the group. Only 25% of people thought that they were going to exit the group, basically,
right, for
both of these teams. I think this group could be rife for upsets. PaperX is waiting. Whoever loses this, I don't think PaperX has an enormous edge over either of these two teams, but neither of them are going to want to be in that position.
Yeah, looking to grab a win nice and early in their group here. Bonus round for EDG. It's definitely a lot of danger towards it. Big stack and group up by the FUT players. A fault line and a paranoia gives them access to that A-Robble control. Might be looking to cement it, but already you're seeing a fast pivot and EDG just trying to play off of that. A lot of util being used. EDG barely alive, but a stun still applying, and he's able to trade out these kills. Kill trip played off of this guy is electric right now. EDG, anchoring player, stalwart defender. And EDG now going to be licking their wounds, I think, looking for options and ways back into this round.
Already I can tell that FUT have been watching the VODs. That aftershock comes out from Simon every time, and EDG made sure his trips did not get broken by it. That was massive.
And now FUT just hold, waiting for it. Signs of life contact, the head's just peeking up and over. Ripped clean off.
Such a clean round, and so important for FUT to showcase early on in this defense half that they can hold on to a site when there's only one player and, you know, a flood coming through. It was just EDG there. Ada Captain comes to try to reinforce. To be honest, Kangkang should probably be favored in that kind of situation, but if EDG's hitting, I guess the stun is cosmetic. But yeah, pay attention to where these trips are, because Simon's aftershock is supposed to break those trips. And EDG is putting them down in spots that'll avoid that.
And now opted into the skirmish, both of these teams, but nobody considering that Chichu could have already got past that line with the TP, with CNED removed. Robot control going to be made that much more easier here for EDG.
I think it's going to be a mistake for FUT to opt into these rubble fights. EDG's composition is much better in those spots.
Yeah. Like we were already talking about, I mean, the utility that FUT have to work with is pretty low. In terms of if you're trying to go, you know, pound for pound against this composition that EDG have, you know, the double initiator, the duelist. Neon stuns are just brutal for trying to find that one early. And a contact reclear is called here by FUT. Had a captain just hold under one line. EDG.
He's got a good idea.
Very good idea. Just sees the jiggle as well, but already gives it up, doesn't he? Spoiler. And already stands up, gliding forwards. Kangkang can't follow up. Out from Mounds and ducking, weaving, dodging EDG only with the two before the trade comes through. Still, two left to stand here for FUT, and that does give them chances and opportunities, but they want to make their way back over towards A now. EDG. Chichu didn't give up that position earlier, so just holding on to that A control for most of the round gives them that option.
It's a nice call. Coming back over to Chichu, who's inserted there. Mr. Fallen might have an opportunity. Has shut down.
Yeah, crosshair placement just wasn't quite there, already adjusting.
And that should secure the round up. We'll have to be keeping an eye on these kind of mid-round calls that are going on for EDG. I feel like a lot of the time things are extremely hectic in the EDG camp, especially since they've decided to bench Haodong, put him into the sixth man assistant coach kind of vibe, and bring nobody in to make a lot of the calls for them.
Krax is trying to make a go at this. I don't really understand the logic behind it.
Probably needs his weapon.
Yeah, he really does. He's got no money to buy another one. The rest of his team does, so he's going to get out of there. Not going to get punished for the hubris of trying to make that attempt. But you're right, you know, EDG, there's been even comments from themselves. You know, I was talking about Yinsu ahead of this match as well, just trying to get that extra information heading into it about EDG. But, you know, even Kangkang was talking about how they get chaotic in the mid-round sometimes. They lose track of, you know, what decisions they should be making.
Frankly,
gets a little bit messy.
That doesn't surprise me whatsoever when you put a player who's known for his unorthodox plays and strange read on the game and feast or famine play style, and you put him into an IGL position. But it feels like Edward Gaming are just trying to figure out what their mentality is, what their ethos is, their style of play. All right. CNED's going to pick up an operator. Go to look for an early pick out here towards C. Got to imagine there's util to push it back.
Yeah, I mean, they have boatloads of it, but okay. Unscoped as well. That is so damn dangerous near-sighted just by the Prowler. Was not broken up by EDG. It gives it full sight over towards the C mound angle. Door's going to be not even opened here, not even contested, at least with that Nightfall. Scatters its way across. There's no follow-up, though, with the wall in their face and the Haunt. And the Paranoia, plenty more where that came from. EDG garner and gain that access into the C site, but the question is, are they going to come out unscathed? They need to get this plant down. Plenty of shots and opportunities handed to CNED, but he's not quite grasping any of them. Damage done to Smoggy. Not quite the kill he was looking for, though. Still has the Blade Storm, so the retake potential is there.
That was a hit.
He's definitely making a decent go of it. Teams grouped up now. 5 versus 5 onto the retake. Backside control. Aim to be held. Kangkang. It's an off angle. Just down onto the ramp as well, but he needs to land it. Shot down with the rest of his team. It's Led just firing through and followed through with the kills. Beautiful work by EDG.
Very nicely done there. EDG, when I was watching them in China on this map, they loved fighting aggressively in the post plant for waterfall control. This time, they planted, but they all stayed on site. They didn't push for an extra piece of map control, but they also didn't back off over to Mound, which means it's massively important that you stand your ground, hold crossfires with each other, and hit these important shots. That's a really crucial one to take down CNED, who had knives online. And this is putting EDG well ahead now.
Right there.
Yeah, ults are starting to get generated already. See the rolling thunder. Simon holding on to it. And Captain's the only one to hold back this A approach. It's a weaker buy by FUT.
Yeah, the attack side operator is now coming out as well. Kangkang picking that up. They tend to play a lot slower when Kangkang is AWPing.
FUT just trying to abuse the fact that there's no Sentinel on the side of EDG, but Smoggy will happily fulfill that role. Even just with the raw aim and gunfire. I mean, listen, there's always danger. The sheriffs are in the hands of these FUT players. They're demons with it, but it's all cleaned up. Safe pair of hands of Smoggy.
It's pretty nice for the next round. You now have Breach Ult, Clovalt online. Smoggy can go really deep off the back of it.
The last two players as well. Caught off into the corner.
What?
Whoa, cracks! He's given it the lifeline and a chance, an opportunity that it's just opened Pride. Wide open, 5 health though to his name. It's a 1v1, isolated down in the blink of an eye. Expecting already the cross-up from Smoggy, the pre-fire, no. But my God, did it get dangerous.
There's just a taster of what this match might end up devolving into.
Listen, man, I said it could get dangerous and they got the sheriffs in their hands.
It's absolutely bonkers what these players are able to do with light weaponry. I mean, the first shot is labored, but onto nobody and onto Simon.
God
and
almighty.
It's so clean. If Captain hadn't let face first into the aftershock there, they actually could have had a 2v1. Maybe secured the round.
All smiles on the face of Kangkang though.
His team can play retake. It's just so important that he at least creates pressure and then gets out alive.
And that's a difficulty, I think, for FUT as well. Their composition is... It's hard to walk that tightrope of not over-investing into some of these fights. Seen it again. Operator already being just accosted off onto the corner. Stun already connecting. Cena just trying to get the hell out of there. Nice. He does cover it. Like you were mentioning, Josh, as well, that rolling retreat, they're just backing away now. The rolling thunder of itself cracks. He lets it loose, lets it rip now. Everybody pushed up back into the corner, but cosmetic stuns is the nature of this game sometimes. Smoggy not dead yet. Back into the fight, but falling from the side, instantly traded once more. And a pause, scattering, running away. EDG, they want to try and make their mark. Moves over towards the A side. CNED, he's fast onto it, but players up into his face as well. Up and down the ropes, they're making this one dangerous and awkward. CNED's lucky to be alive.
Spike planted.
Bit of calm for once in the middle of the round. FUT sure to play this one together. Holding just in case. Flank possibilities, but a contact peek, doubled up, not quite ready for it. Seen it again, missing the shot. This is many opportunities now that he has missed. 2v3, EDG, smoke in their face. Chichu could cross this one up as well. And for FUT, the pressure's on them to try and push past this one without a captain low. Haunt not seeing too much, jumping peek, swing is there. EDG finally, but Chichu contains 1v1 and a tap. Issue has forced Chichu though, ice cold, backs away, knowing EDG is not playing towards this one, and there's a 1 round out. Beautiful work once more, 4-piece to finish and wrap it up.
Immaculately played clutch there by Chichu. He really had all of the info, knew exactly that EDG was just going to be tapping on that first one. There were so many missed opportunities there, though, from both teams. I'm talking about the form of the players and seeing which team's sharp. There were so many spots in that where there was missed opportunities. CNED probably should have died way earlier on if we're going to look at who had more chances to kill each other. But EDG continue this spiral up and onwards. Can't be stopped.
No. It's relentless. Nothing to break the Haunt either, so again, peace of mind granted to EDG. They're giving up that front section of A.
Once more, it looks like a bait and switch setup where CNED's designed to take contact, dash back out, and then play in at a captain and EDG. Very similar to what he did on B. This time, Kangkang's not even in the right area of the map to take that carrot on a stick. Poison carrot on a stick, I suppose it would be at that point.
Smoggy's task was just holding down the flank here. Falling in cracks, not too much in terms of the weaponry that they're holding on to. Trick broken. Prowler out too, just trying to bait out the potential of that trap play. Gliding and sliding, Kang. Listen, he's not going to take no for an answer. He wants this sight and he wants it now.
Brilliant way of using the Neon movement there against the eco round. It's so difficult to hit Sheriff shots when the Neon's running at your face.
Oh yeah.
And then wiggling around on the floor.
Smoggy just catching that contact on the players as well. It's a little bit disjointed here from the FUT attempt. It's not going to be able to get this one over the line here. For now, EDG are in full control, 7-1, and now is a great time to bring up, talking about the pressure that they had. I think coming off the back of that Shanghai performance, obviously the expectation is going to be much heavier, I think, when it's in their home region playing that tournament. A few weeks back.
But they bombed.
They did bomb out.
I mean, yeah, they didn't even have one of their, ooh, they look good, but then they don't make it.
Yeah, it was completely flat.
It was extremely flat, and the Chinese fans wanted more, demanded more, and made their voices very heard. And so you got to expect that was one of the reasons why EDG ended up making changes. CNED tries to get value again.
And this time will succeed. Plucks Smoggy out of the picture nice and easy.
And a wallbang through onto Simon there as well. Yeah. Look at the health, 15.
Unfortunate not to get a collat. But that is exactly what FUT were looking for, honestly. The first kills have not really been going their way. Prowler again in the face with the op shot fired off. They now know exactly where CNED is. Kang scored up, chewed up. At least by the trap, Farlin in a bit of danger. The paranoia is good though with that connection after shot. He's going to be dodged. He needs some help from the rest of his team, and the overdrive is just swatted away. Kang does not stand a chance, but Simon quick on the next approach. We'll trade it, slowing it down. Patience has to be played now because it's still a 2 versus 4 for EDG. Risks might need to be taken for any chance of them winning this. Pre-fires onto the corner, 2 players into the pit, just holding it. Chichu trying to take that. What is that? Adjustment, flick to the side. EDG barely puts him to rest. Simon, 15 health left, tagged up by the cam. Not long for this world, and so FUT finally going to be able to get another one on the board up to that second round.
And that's a massively important one for FUT. They're very, very good on Lotus, so don't get too worried about them just yet. But if they end up going down 8-1 and their economy's broken, doesn't matter how attack-sided EDG's comp is, at that point, you've set yourself up for a very, very rough ending to Lotus. So that's important, stabilizes the economy, gets them into a decent spot, and they know that CNED can find those opportunities with the op. It's just about putting him in the right place, trying to figure out where EDG might go next. And EDG are headed towards A on that classic rubble kind of fight again.
At this point pretty much being handed over for free. CNED again. He's going to make another go of things, isn't he? This is where he found success last time, just peeking through B main.
May catch nobody.
Jump spot. Does he hear this? Pre-aims? Nobody though. Already crossed up onto the spot, barely a shoulder, but this time CNED is starting to hit. On fire with it.
That's so sharp. At some point, you got to imagine Kang is gonna feel like he wants to go for the ego battle. It might be too late in this half, but certainly on defense.
Back towards the rubble with the TP here. There's a lot of players though. Does he get that confirmation, Mr. Farlin? Not liking what he saw. Smoggy on the meanwhile, he's making sure to take this one slow and steady. Has got them a lot of control up towards C. Door opens up. EDG making the call here for the mid-round pivot. 40 seconds left. Stunned up. Mr. Farlin has to let loose with it, but with Smoggy spotted, he might have just given the game away with only 36 seconds left. Had a captain. He's going to reinforce this sight up. Still has a snakebite in his back pocket. Smokes are up as well. Orb up to respond. Fault line though. There's no molly at the feet, so EDG are going to be able to get into this one essentially for free. It's all about whether or not you can get this plant down still. Simon, not just a tap, a full stick, doesn't want to try and bait out any of that util, and there's nothing used as a response. No spam on the side of FUT.
No spam, I think, because they're worried about EDG pushing Waterfall. Like I said, they do that all the time in China.
Smokes placed, propped up. Kang. This one going to be dissipating though, does need to be worried about it. Retaking with the op, never quite ideal. Kang. First casualty, Chicho's there, right through the wall. EDG is frying, farming, Cloudburst to try and get them into the site, and the last player left is Simon, overwhelmed. Too many targets to really overcome.
And suddenly, a map where EDG were fully in control, and now FUT making a decent little comeback. Those 2 rounds, they might not look like much, but with how EDG's composition is so reliant on getting their economy flourishing and getting an op into Kangkang's hand on the defense side, any kind of damage done here is going to add up. These last 2 rounds, crucially important. They make all the difference between a 7-5 half or a 9-3. And that's either a close half or a blowout.
Yeah.
EDG's been feasting. He's got 12.
Will be occurring. The question is who will be the winner. Now, last time Chichu TP'd back Rubble and it did put the punish onto CNED. We'll see if that happens again, or FUT has something to counteract it. Paranoid looks like it's pre-aimed just for the middle uncenter piece of the choke point. Fault line slows them down. TP through the back again, up and around with the updraft. CNED barely alive here, still blinded up. Inside the cloudburst, wants to play inside of it. Chichu running and gunning. Reign Supreme wins out the day. Cracks, you are hard committed into this spot, son, and there is really no escape. But Ada Captain will help him out. Shot from the side and a follow-up again. He can't be denied. FUT just absolutely smashed them into dust.
Can we have a look at the stage? Did CNED just jump into Krax's chair for a moment there?
What happened there?
Possess his body, take him over. What are those 2 up shots? Coming out from a player that I've only ever seen with a rifle in hand. That's nasty. Krax was completely stuck. The door had not been pre-fired, so he was trying to use a classic to get through it. He's like, please, let me escape. Get me through the B. And he decided to turn, stand, and fight. But now EDG have those ults online. Yep. Now in the final round of the half, they've got massive tools to work with.
We're seeing again the same fight taking Valorant. Oh my goodness, revealed up by the Horde as well. He needs to get the hell out of their door in his face. TP through into the smoke and the bullets just won't connect into the end. EDG not to be denied that space, and they have a lot of ults to make usage of. Nightfall primed and ready, finally let loose. Fallen drops the smoke. CNED anti-synergy almost, but the Blade Storm, now the stuns connecting up. This is chaos and anarchy occurring. Updraft will not save you. Kang hunting them all down. Finally put a stop to all of it. Rolling Thunder does not deny the plan. Might be able to get at least put back into it. Nobody tucked to the corner, tight and close, and they still can't remove him. With the upgrade occurred finally. A trade online. EDG though, no Roffet will reveal everybody's position into the 3v2, and with the fight isolated, now the 2v2. In through tree, Smoggy out wide, and what an adjustment it is. Couldn't quite catch that final kill. It looks like he just whipped that rifle all the way around for the 8-4 finish.
Didn't even need his ultimate to close that one out. And it would have been a checkmate situation towards the end, I think. So it's a good half from EDG, a very good half. 8-4 on FUT's map pick, but their comp is attack-sided. Who knows where this is going?
Oh, come on.
They don't have the Sentinel, they don't have the Viper. Now, in China, they left the C site very, very weak. I think now you're seeing them leave the A site weak on the pistol to avoid that anti-stratting that FUT would have done. Do FUT care? Are FUT going for the C site? No, not at all.
That's all 5 players grouped up.
But I think EDG are going to end up on attack here.
Flipping the map. EDG. This guy is about to be receiving either a world of hurt, or it might just win the round for them single-handedly. He's the one who's going to try and lock this one down already. Early fight taken, and almost lost out. Kang drops him down to at least 11. And a slight tuck into the corner. No way.
He dodges
the bullets. This guy is a fox in the pen, but he is going to be spotted and finally rooted out. So there's that first kill advantage. EDG, maybe something to work with. Door again, opened wide. Molly's a little bit delayed and laid out here. EDG are winning this one with a massive player advantage. Mr. Fallen and CNED to do the most here, leaving it just down to Fallen. And now overwhelmed at the back. Knives are out and swinging. We are getting scrappy.
That's a major pistol round for EDG to be able to get. They played it really nicely, but there were so many spots there where a FUT player could have had impact. EDG tucked into the corner, couldn't do anything. Great shutdown from Kang. And then also Ada Captain, another spot where Kang probably should have died. He's vulnerable, swinging through, but Ada Captain can't get his weapon out in time. FUT letting that one slip a little, a fumble that they can't afford with only 4 rounds in the bag. EDG, this is perfect for them. Again, their defense strategy revolves around getting an op into Kang's hands. Winning the pistol, you're loving that. Yeah, you're going to be able to get your economy flourishing.
But we'll make a go of things here. Slow spread default into the Rico. Maybe just aiming to hopefully farm up some ores. So that's the trouble with their own composition as well. You can't even rely too much on the ultimates they've got available. Chichu, Paranoia, flies forwards. Couple of shots fired out as well. He's going to be blind himself. He needs some help and backup. Has arrived in the form of Kang, but he's swiftly dealt with. That was the rifle. Dropped down. Chichu, though, still a problem. And Smoggy happy to deliver the death blow from the side. EDG classic in hand. There's enough to dismiss them, even just repping loud in the process, I guess, because they couldn't make it themselves.
Weapons down over towards Rubble. If he had the spike, this would be a great situation to threaten that he was heading off elsewhere and go and try to pick one of those up. But like you said, where is he going? But where can he go? He has to be predictable here and go over towards A. He's just trying to orb max.
Yeah, of course, that really important neuro theft.
Hey, listen, on the attack side, it actually can win you some really important rounds, especially when you're playing against a no Sentinel comp. He gets that down, he's going to figure out where the gaps are.
Alert timings here, but nobody's going to keep watching. Yeah, just for the smoke peek.
I think the question more so than what is the neural theft going to do is, what is a round going to do at this point for FUT? There's 6 behind now. Not only do they need this one, they need to then break the economy of EDG and start a spiral of their own. And FUT's comp, while they've had quite a lot of success with it, and it's been good for them, it's not an alt snowball comp. It's not like you have the lockdown and the showstopper and the nightfall to be able to work with. So this one's still going to be scrappy, still going to be difficult for FUT, even if they get on a roll.
Early push back there on the EDG. Standard attack side here for FUT, but you're right. Rifles in the hands. This is where you really need to get going if you are FUT. You are being pressured like hell. EDG needs some support, needs some help. The squeeze is occurring, but heads to the side. Nobody really watching for him. Smoggy at least will get that trade.
Felt like EDG was calling for help. Ada Captain came back and got counter-called, and FUT went into C instead. EDG strung out to dry, but takes one down. EDG like these kind of setups. It doesn't matter if they're playing full retake every time, as if they have the entirety of the map control.
Time for mount control. Ada Captain just needs to spot this one out. They realize they flipped the mount.
Mound?
Yeah.
You can't plan for Mound when they're coming Mound.
They already have control of it, but we're kind of being caught. It's a little bit easier now. Only one real direction to pay attention to. Smoke in their faces. Util's going to be exchanged. Aftershock in through the choke as well, and rifles reloaded. EDG just primed and ready. Without a kill. Finding it lacking that initiating power, I think, to even get themselves in. Already time ticking away from them with the spike and with the position it's placed in as well. There is no more chances to win this one out. They're looking to do that economical damage, if possible.
Chichu did force into this round, so the fact that he keeps that rifle is going to be important for EDG. They can keep rifles up for round 16. At the moment, what we're seeing is EDG leave one site completely open and pushing heavily the other two. They're trying to condition this idea that they are always going to be pushing, even on the defense side. But FUT are finding the right reactions here, which is to go into the free area and play a post-plant setup where you have space somewhere else.
As long as EDG just make it incredibly obvious of what they're trying to push and fight over, FUT's decision-making is going to get that much more easier here. Kang, though, push his way up. Fault line does catch. Off onto Mound. He needs a little bit of help here. He's quite hard committed. They heard a TP. They think it's in the one-way, but Farland's already crossed up.
FUT at this point can tell it's not the same as the previous rounds. Prowler's coming out A.
A peak caught here by nobody. Side by side with Simon. Aftershock's there. Takes a good timing with it right as the wall was going down, so FUT actually don't get any of that space, but on the opposite side of the map, that's Smoggy gone, taken out.
I mean, that's through a smoke, surely.
Not too sure, but a decision's now made here. Down to that 50-second mark. Chichu cuts it up onto the corner. Neurofeft, if they wait this one out, they will spot him. Paranoia is going to be forced as a result. Chichu, knowing he can't play there, repositions, backs away. EDG is split up though. They can't hard anchor onto this side, and with that util saved into the back pocket, rainy day. It's called for. FUT starting to barrel their way through and over onto the C side, but they made it quite obvious at this point. 30 seconds now. EDG getting some bodies into the fray, into the fight, but it's still that 3v5, and Cracks is not pushed back from that plant. Getting themselves into it. Flash to Let's get Chichu and playing inside. Cam up into his face. Can land and adjust the shot in time. Cine dropping him. Full control towards the back of the site. Need a miracle from EDG. You need mistakes from FUT. Stun into the back. There's no swing attempt off of the back of this here. Almost lining up for some sort of potential from nobody there. But FUT once more going to walk away with another round and starting to string them together at this point. That's 6 on the board.
And you're seeing the weaknesses of EDG's composition on the defense side. There were 2 players there ready to anchor the site, but they can't really do too much. Chishu's already used his paranoia to try to get out of the really uncomfortable spot he's in, and that neural theft that you were poo-pooing earlier on came through fairly handy, didn't it?
It did help, yeah.
It also gave them an amazing paranoia that knew where both players were and blinded both of them too. FUT are back into this game.
Cage triggered.
Interesting. That is real interesting.
Disguising where you put the cam so that it survives for a little longer.
Yeah, it's a real interesting way to take that C mount control. Early fight there, taken. Kang, I believe, had the Marshal in hand. Just to see if you could potentially get that first kill advantage on their own half. By EDG have stacked this one with quite a lot of players. CNED is aware of the possibility, and even just pre-firing into tree. Won't catch this guy sleeping, not right now. Yeah, he is popping off after a relatively slow beginning. Smoggy going for the peak.
You're
Don't
not
use
using that ult.
Yeah, do not use that one. Save that one for another round here. This is a close and shut case here for FUT.
If we want to talk about the ults just for a second, while Smoggy has his as well, it's going to be very difficult for Smoggy to find good opportunities to use that. If he gets picked in a spot like this, even if it's rifles online 5v5, he can't sprint at FUT out through Mount. So he's kind of got to save it for retake scenarios.
Yeah.
And what we saw from him on the attack side is, often, if things are going well enough that you would want to use the ult, then you didn't need to use the ult. Kang finally gets op in hand. The economy damage that FUT did early on and the fact that they've been winning these rifle rounds has stopped Kang from getting that weapon that he's known for. He is a sniper at his heart. He's picking it up and playing over towards A.
The amount of targets that are going to be afforded to him, few and far between. It's only EDG, and he's not really going to be choosing to opt into that fight as well. The horns and the stun will push him away. Smoggy willing to disrespect control over towards C Mound. TP across again. Cloudburst and a flash over the top. This is a beautiful takeaway. You need to kill Smoggy in this spot. He's getting away with murder right now. Only 4 bullets left, but will he opt into using the ult to get back into the fight? Doesn't look likely.
CNED's got 2 health. What a whiff from him after he's been playing so well this map.
Yeah, real scrappy. And
they know
real
he's there.
messy. Noise cue given away by the cage, and Simon gives up his life. This is all over the place at this point here, but FUT are still in that driving seat despite the damage done to CNED and Ada Captain.
Off your feet!
EDG need a huge play from somebody now.
And Kang, 1 kill offered up. Question is it even enough? Farland, plant, stuck and committed. Extension now into the round, into the post plant. Paranoia is set up, Prowler as well. That gets the confirmation and acknowledgement, but a shot missed. Overdrive round to the side in the corner. No one to play off of it. In for the back of the side, lining them all up. Kang with 3. Nightfall is beautiful. Cracks. Last one left, and he is gone.
They needed a miracle, and Kang delivered. Of course it was him. The op shot on the entry, the pop of the overdrive, following up off the back of his initiator utility and dodging that breach ult. EDG got completely stuck there. Not a great post plant setup either from FUT, trying to play very heavy on site against that Nightfall. Difficult to make that work. But there you go, as soon as you get the op into Kang's hand, suddenly the defense looks like it works.
It's value earned. EDG stem the bleeding for just a little bit here, and they still, of course, hold the advantage in terms of rounds. This time, adjusting and moving up that positioning. Kang upping over towards C, wants to play in front of the Viper Orb.
And the cage did not defend the cam this time. It was broken. FUT are also jump peeking this at the start every time. They do that jump peek from on top of the boxes where you can just get your head over the top and see if there's an Opper playing C.
In the
decided to go
meantime,
A.
yeah, full control over towards A, but the question is, can they clear Chichu? Cloudburst, it's an intelligent way to try and get your way and slip past into the side as well. Chichu still set up, still lands two! My goodness, he was under a tremendous amount of pressure. For EDG now, that lifeline is delivered, and this could be that 12th round that they were looking for. TP, evacuation, backing away, Pit into the post, and Smoggy's fast, rapid into it, ult, not dead yet, he's back into the fray, back into the fight, pressing forwards, that is absurd. Sees though, connects onto the feed, and now the captain rooted to the side, needs that bailout fun, spraying and praying. Kang left alone now. In a 1v2, just the operator in his hands, you might have to call this one quits.
If he goes for it, he won't be able to buy an op again. EDG are at 11. They're already in the lead. You don't need to take risks like this and potentially lose a weapon that's so important for making your defense function. So as heartbreaking as it is, he's got to just let this one slip away. EDG, he's creeping.
He's hunting it out.
He's hearing.
Yeah, but the question is, will they be able to catch him? This guy is going to be lightning fast, getting all the way away from them here in the sound cues. Got to keep the op.
That is absolutely maniacal from Smoggy and nobody. The lack of coordination on that play is baffling for a team that has otherwise been playing fairly well today.
Yeah, I mean, this here.
This push forwards, nobody's supposed to trade this, right? And
Yeah,
instead,
exactly.
nobody backs up and throws a seize. I mean, get on the same page, please, if you're going to be making a play like that. They're chuckling about it now, but this gap is lowered to 3, and they're on an eco.
A little bit of bite towards the round, at least the Guardian, the rifle, the op, but as you said, Josh, the gap is narrowing. Odin spam away from falling just to cover the retreat. CNED, dash expended nice and early.
Toxins going up.
I think the reason that this composition works for EDG, though, is that they have good enough players. Someone gets them around. And in a situation like this, the economy doesn't look good, but FUT are going to be cautious, they're going to be slow, and EDG are going to be taking risks. You will often see Thrifties converted in high-pressure moments like this.
EDG already trying to set themselves up to succeed. Looks like they wanted to commit to a push deep out here, up onto the site. This is full committal occurring. Nobody right into the back of the site. Classic in hand, and Chichu, this position right here could do some damage and potentially cause some harm, but really no worse for the wear here from the FUT players. They do survive and get that plant down for them.
Planted.
EDG with a difficult task ahead. And the question of what they really want to commit into this one. With Simon's ult in the back pocket, do you save this one still with the gap closing? Swap around with the weaponry. Rifle now into the hands of Kang. Smoggy holds the approach. Perched up, gliding forwards, an attempt to play off of that util, but now the counter spam.
How do you get the op out?
And the counter play, how do you get the op out? It's hard committed, deep into the pit. Simon, where's this flash landing, man? Flicks it up to the side as well. Time is ticking away from it. Will collect at least the 1 kill, but the peak of the util is perfection. And right from behind with the wrap around, the op will not survive another day. Up to 9 now for FUT. The gap now just 2 rounds away from equalizing.
That's the risk of taking a weapon like that, heavily committed into an eco situation. You're unlikely to win. One player's coming in there without a weapon in hand. You don't want to use your big ultimate on Simon because you want to save that for the future. The same logic should apply to the op. So all right, they don't have that to work with. Can they make the ult work for them? The gap closes to 2. C completely open. I mean, look at this. The defensive side has holes in it every single round.
Insanely as well, this hard read. I don't know if it is a hard read, but FUT just already
Cage triggered.
making a move over towards the C side. EDG wants nothing to do with the A contestation. He can feel the pincer. They tried that move on him before. He's not going to fall prey for it this time. He survives and tries to play for his life.
So last time, they also planted towards Mound, didn't take any spawn or waterfall control.
Doing it again. This time trying to play for Mounty here. So many footsteps, EDG, you absolute madman. Paranoid up though, blinded, he needs some help, and bailout will be afforded, and wrist played. Now as the squeeze is coming in, Rolling Thunder at least to relieve that pressure. Smoggy is ridiculous. Can't quite squeeze himself right through the doors. It just closes shut between him and the site. It's going to be flipped around once more. FUT though, only 2 of their players surviving. One ways, blooming and blossoming. FUT are scrambling now. Players rummaging and rumbling towards the site. This is just absolutely absurd for Fallen to deal with. Damage done. Dodging and weaving. Phantom in hand. CNED last one left, but not for much longer.
I don't understand how FUT can have seen that exact idea come out from EDG before, recognize it in the first 10 seconds of the round, and decide to fight mound control.
It's perplexing.
That's bonkers to me.
Yeah.
The door's going to get opened. You're going to get pushed from the back. Why not reactively yourself push forwards and plant for spawn? Go and take spawn control. Go and take waterfall. Plant for those positions that you can fight over. And instead, FUT are getting caught both times, planting for mound and trying to control that area, playing exactly into EDG's hand. That was the round they needed to put them onto map point.
Forces the timeout now.
4 defense rounds. I mean, 1 in 4 puts them at overtime.
The pressure is settling in because EDG, they do just need the one. As you already mentioned, it can come from any one of these players. They're talented and skilled enough to be able to do so. Seen it. Rips it away. Stun connecting though, and a bit of counter spam. Just the rifles in hand. That's nice work. Spike's going to be dropped down hard, committed and past that point of really no return. FUT, though, have to make some compromises. EDG opening this door with a paranoia swing. Rifle play, EDG. This guy is a menace. And he is going to save the day, isn't he? Simon quick on their trail, right from behind. Will FUT make the same mistake again as the doors open wide? Got to flip the side, and this time they do plan towards it.
Yeah, now they're planting towards spawn. But Mr. Fallen doesn't feel confident about getting over there. He has a teleport. They've actually planted for spawn and playing waterfall, and no one's playing spawn.
Deep Sea's close, Haunt as well, smokes in their face, EDG, chances, nobody's primed and ready, and now the ult's let loose. This guy might have found that chance, follow the trail, and you might be rewarded just with the map win, but as it fades away, classic in hand. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me! Nobody! My God! That's how the map finishes!
Ridiculous fashion. EDG take FUT's pick of Lotus. Beaten Vitality and FPX close to Team Heretics at this event. Might be time for EDG to take another big win of their own.
Let's get to it then. EDG with a setup here, nice early Haunt up and over the top. That's not going to be pre-aimed. I mean, I think it's supposed to be landing on top of the grate as well, but ended up missing and still getting the value here. Spam, shots fired right through the smoke. In through a short, jump spot not punished. Kang over the nade. Push them backing away on either side here. It's a battle on multiple fronts and a wrap around by Mr. Fallen. Unexpected. Here's the footsteps. Pitter-patter of it. Simon, noise bait.
There's another one coming though.
But yeah, Fallen. A lot of areas to look for. They just can't quite manage to just get a handle on any of them.
Planted.
At this point here, pistol round. Distant dream for this FUT team. They got CNED and EDG still holding on standby. Oh, and with that fight lost, really no chance in hell. CNED would have to toggle. But the players' positions, EDG not giving anything away, just a slight jiggle, and Simon, he squares up to him. Enough to deliver that final blow, bullet to the brain. And a pistol round again gained here for EDG.
A nice one from EDG. They kept it fairly simple. That Haunt lineup, actually, that is where that's supposed to land. Simon throws that one all the time. It is weird, because you can throw one on top of the grate. DRX kind of do. But the fact that FUT weren't ready for it, to me, is a bit of a worrying sign for the Turkish team.
Yeah,
because,
red flag raised.
Yeah, because that's the one that Simon throws every single time on this map. And so if you're not ready to pre-aim that, you're probably not ready for a lot of the other stuff they're going to bring to bind. It's probably not a map that you've done a lot of anti on coming into this match. Because the middle of the map pools for both of these teams are very similar. It could have been Bind, Sunset, Icebox, any of those maps that EDG ended up picking.
Nobody just needs to survive with this rifle into his hands as well. He's got plenty of players that are trying to bring him down with a Haunt, pointing him out. So offsets and hands that rifle. Here's the adjustment and reaction out of EDG.
Chichu could go down here as well.
Okay. It's already into their faces. Chichu could have gone down, but now he's going to be trying to sink this one up. CNED running them down with a shorty. Kang, quick to respond. Dropping all of them. Bulldog here. It had a captain's grasp, but 2v3, you're smoked off. Haunt's going to be available in at least 4 seconds, but predictable with the pathing, so EDG get the sightline set on it.
Ada Captain should want this Bulldog to remain out of EDG's hands. If they go for this and they die and it's recoverable, that's a problem.
Kang Eager to hunt down these kills as well. Built up 3 already. Spike's ticking. Yeah, you got to respect that one now at this point. But already steadily building up towards that ult. 4 away, you got to think. You farm up some quick orbs. If FUT were giving up extremity control that easily from what we saw in the pistol round.
And EDG, with a bit of damage done there to their economy, are going to be able to take one less gun into this next round. Somebody's going to have to go onto an eco. But they'll still be fine. They'll still put a pretty dangerous bonus. Kankan at the moment is finding a lot of value out of the Sheriff. He's just running around body-shotting everybody.
One enemy remaining.
He's finding value from it.
Yeah. He's sitting at the top. So, bonus round. EDG looking to try and convert this one as well. Get off to a blitzer and start. CNED's postured away. Sees nade held here, but really, what's the contact? EDG already going to be offloading that one. There's a mosh pit through the TP, not much else behind it. EDG are happy to wait most of this out. Dizzy up and over the top. Nade rebounds. Smoggy's all the way in there as well. At least the first point of the contact. Rifles though, that is ridiculous. The Turkish aim classic rears its head for a flawless shutdown of the bonus round.
Very nicely done there from FUT. EDG are going to mostly be running, when they exec A, 4-1 execs. They have Chishu, late backstab showers, and the other 4 come down short. Slightly different how other teams do it. A lot of other teams will be running their fade, kind of coming through showers, like Simon did this time. It's not standard for EDG. But FUT dealt with it all the same. No problems whatsoever. But that was a weaker buy. And arguably, the site that FUT are looking to lock down the heaviest. They've got 3 players on A defending. Whereas Mr. Fallen and Ada Captain quite alone over here on the B side of the map.
Very much alone. There's no punish as well on the ore pickup. Prowler and a boombot is going to be used to try and take that B-long control mosh pit on top of it. Nobody just making sure that they can hold on and take that space there. Chichu is also trying to feign like there could be the potential of the lurk, but it does lock 2 of the players at least onto that angle on FUT's side. Wrapping all the way around. Is nobody going to try and sell a fake here? What's the play?
I think the fake might be on B here, actually, and then they go through the teleport. Just judging by where Chishu is.
They don't have that prior showers control, and someone's going to have to break that.
That's not bad, though. I mean, knowing that there's 2 players over there, Krax is still going to rotate, though. He smells a rat.
Yeah, he feels it, doesn't he? With them losing that showers control, here's the TP now. FUT going to be asked the question, can they hold this one back? Nade's already rebounded nice and early with the C's. Good connection and a good answer. So, Satchel's a little bit iffy there, not able to get out of dodge as the Haunt wasn't pre-fired, revealed up most of them. They've lost a little bit of control of this one. EDG will have to respond, and he will do so! Wrapping it all the way through. Beautiful control with a rifle. Smoggy trying to go straight back at him, blow for blow into the 1v1. Time getting against him. Kankan going to get this spike planted down.
He gets
but that puts
showstopper.
it online. Showstopper here and ready. Satchel's away, still with a rifle. Now lets it loose. Another captain, you've got to be fearing for your life. Not a sound, mate, not a peep. Doesn't want to give anything away, just has to wait this one out along with the fuse, but the pre-fire into the corner. Misjudged by Kankan. It was a gamble in the end, but he does reposition with her now. Ada Captain, hello, stick in this. Have revealed, but a bullet to the dome. Enough to deliver that 3rd round now for EDG.
It's Kankan there who wins the clutch. A little fortunate that he had that showstopper, because otherwise, Ada Captain was breathing down his neck. But it's not Kankan really that secures the round for them. The Smoggy 3K, it just comes out of nowhere. Smoggy over here, being able to get the kill onto CNED is fair enough, but then beautiful 1v2 onto Mr. Fallen and Krax, and that makes the round winnable for EDG. Otherwise, FUT had the read. Their macro play was better.
Viper's Pit online now for FUT as well. Should make it a little bit less complicated for the defensive calling. That has been a problem, as you've already highlighted.
It's the
Macro's been
rifling,
good.
really.
Yeah. Winning the fights out.
Yeah, rifling and also some of the micro stuff.
Now the captain is hyper committed. Over towards that B-long angle. Cena just watching too. That's a nade used relatively early To no avail, to be honest. I mean, EDG are happy to just sidestep it out. A bit of spam, though, and bullets. You can't really disrespect that. And here's an attempt that he executes. A mosh over the top. It actually cancels the ult. Mr. Fallen loses control of it. The Thrash will get a second round of things as long as he waits it out. 7 seconds and counting, but EDG going a bit slow and now attempting to speed it up. The tempo increased. That popping from Kang. No results found. Rifles in the hands of FUT. They want to put a stop to this one. The battle lines are drawn into the sand with the TPs here, and now a Thrash as well to try and at least collect a few more. No, broken just before he can step past it.
2 spotted though, I think.
Yeah, and Chichu and Smoggy. The positions are noted now. Just down to Smoggy. 41 health and the pre-aim onto the ankle, EDG.
Not a fan of that hookah flood from EDG. I think working the outsides of the map, making sure that they have B-long control is going to be crucial, critical against the way that FUT are playing. The defensive setups are remarkably good, actually, from FUT. It's the first time, well, not the first time, but this is, you know, a different composition to what they've played most recently. Almost all the time they've been playing this KO Gecko comp, where you're using the flashes, actually, to initiate off the back of. Here, FUT have to hold their ground a bit more and work that space denial utility, the mollies, the walls. Slow pace to open this round out.
Yeah, EDG just going to be focusing on farming up the ults.
And I think the outsides of the map should be favored to EDG. The way that they're defaulting at the moment, it's kind of like 2-1-2 approach.
Chichu even just going for a couple of peeks down A short. Now, there's not too many chances into this round for EDG, but with the more map control is given up for them, the more I might start to become a believer, even if they're working with the pistols. Smokes are now down and out. That's going to commit towards the mollies. The Dizzy did not get broken in time, so we're going to be pushed out of the back of the side here, but he's still, EDG forced to respect most of the mollies coming their way. Plant from Simon is committed. The C's does connect, but there's nothing else again to follow up with this one, so we see that extension into the post. The only difference is they don't have the rifles, but again, that might not stop EDG. Sees, I should say, Dizzy, Satchel, a put over now with a showstopper pre-fired. He was just following the trails there, and the rifle spray down. Kang trying to relieve that pressure. Falling, sticking, have onto the defuse. Needs to be something to offload and push this one back, but sticking it all the way to safety. Despite the kills that are flooding in from EDG, damage definitely done to the economy, but a round win FUT will be happy to walk away with.
Absolutely the case, but FUT should not have allowed it to get that close. They also would have liked to win that round without having to use the showstopper, because now they have an enormous ult disadvantage heading into the rifle round. So I think, all in all, even though the scoreboard would disagree, that's a bit of a win for Edward Gaming.
Yeah.
EDG's ults in particular are the thing to be paying attention to here, but also a massive clash over towards sand.
Yeah, this one is about to be a brawl in the skirmish. Prowler disrespected EDG. He's way ahead of it. He's traded. Thrash just biting at the heels there. The captain's going to be detained, caught, orbital strike collected, slowed to a crawl, and no more. Brought down. Not expecting this though. Mr. Fallen just anchoring, holding it down, locked down the position, but finally struck from behind. But it's a little bit too late here for Smoggy. Brings it to that 1v2 with the Spiker hard committed into the site. Again, hard task ahead of him. Pre-firing away into the corners. Doubled up is all it takes from FUT, that discipline.
It's tough to criticize, but I think EDG, I mean, they're going to take a tag time out here, but I think they needed to call a cancel, a slowdown in the round once they got that ult combo.
Yeah.
They had an enormous player advantage, but they just made it super obvious which site they were hitting, and the rotates were already on the way from A. They also had a very late player coming up B long, and in the end, that anchoring player of Mr. Fallen did so much to win FUT the round there. That's huge ult investments. They had plenty of time when they were coming through hookah there. They could have slowed things down and just been happy with the fact that they had them on the back foot, had a Thrash orbital strike combo. A bit of panic, chaos. Gonna need to see that newcomer to the IGL role step up for EDG.
EDG opted into the attack side operator here for Kang. This is, they do pull this out from time to time. From the footage I've watched, the trouble is they sometimes don't really know what to do with themselves when they're not offered these easy pickoffs.
They do tend to play quite a bit slower with Kang's op.
But okay.
Immediately, it finds value.
Yeah, it gets it straight down. Almost to get at a map. A short. And with EDG gone as well, at this point, could make a few plays, but risks have to be played here by FUT as well. Seeking to offset the disadvantage. Chichu was almost there, man. Almost good enough, just dancing around the bullets for a moment, but just couldn't reset the aim in time.
I like the call here to drive it quickly into B. Mr. Fallen's got to realize quickly that that's what's going on. Adacaptain might be screwed here.
Yeah, he's fully revealed up here. There's too much to deal with the Dizzy overloading him. Damage done potentially through the bodies as well. He's played Mr. Fallen in, but again, tip-tap at the rifles. Tip-tap at the shoes as well. Great movement from the EDG players, enough to survive into this one here. Kang will lock down that sight line. Nobody to be able to step past that one. Elbow control has been given up. CNED might be the playmaker. No, brought down to his knees. So just the one, and it's Cracks. They seem to be acutely aware exactly where he might be playing from. Chooses to back away, knows it's an impossibility.
Bit of a misread from Mr. Fallen. He thought that the EDG team was going to react by going down short, the player where they just managed to take down EDG. He was running over to the A side to try to reinforce that spot. Didn't realize everyone on EDG barreling towards B. Nice call. Right when we were just talking about the macro, nobody needing to find his moments. Mid-round in there ended up working quite nicely. A reaction to those two players pushing out showers.
Let's take a look at this one. Ah, beautiful.
Did you need the headshot?
Yeah. All off the back of that one. So when EDG do get those opening pickoffs with Kang, the operator played a slower round. It does work out for them. FUT now with a buy, a little bit all over the place. You know, you see CNED, he's got this outlaw. You'd have to be precise with it so you get real good value. Horn's not broken. EDG know that Showers has given up, but the timing's off in terms of FUT, just trying to make sure that they crunch that one. So mosh pit through. Alongside the C's nade, it's all committed nice and early. That's a lot of big tools that FUT would like to use to try and stunt and stop a fast exec. Not that's really any time coming soon with EDG playing his attack side op.
No, they're going to be slow. They're going to be looking for picks. And FUT at some point may peek for info. Similar to how EDG was going for that jump peek, he'll have thought he was safe there, trying to take the safer option in the previous round. But of course, there's only so many ways that you can grab info without facing your body into a dangerous spot. EDG is working his way forwards again. What a risk.
Yeah, super risky. Just don't know where this operator's going to be, and not just that, you don't know where the players are going to be. Chichu, there with a punish. Make him think twice about it. EDG going to be paying with his life yet again. Cracks. So he's going to play spoiler inside the smoke. Has to dodge most of the util coming his way, including the bullets. Nobody with a plan as well. Here's that reload, but sprays away and does reveal his position. Seen it up and over the top. He's praying that a head will be revealed to him, but nobody graceful enough to oblige. So this Lamps controls the aim of the game here for EDG. Haunt wraps his way through into the back. Nobody's going to be spotted. Orbital strike from Adacaptain. Good to clear this one through and away. Dizzy, but over the top with the wall. Gives him that cover. Kang full running. Get the hell out of here. It's a ridiculous adjustment, and Simon's still locking down control. FUT have no more chances available to them. And CNED has to concede the space, has to concede the round.
FUT are giving away too many early kills. I mean, EDG in this round taking an egregious risk, I think. Getting caught by Shishu. But then also, what a whiff from Adacaptain coming around the back as well. Yeah. There are opportunities for FUT to be able to get back into these rounds or to, you know, stabilize and not give away the advantages at the beginning. But EDG are playing patiently, playing slowly with the op, and it's getting so much value because FUT are getting antsy, and it's forcing mistakes out of them. Maybe not even forcing the mistakes out of them necessarily. It's just the sheer lack of information. And FUT make the unforced error. We haven't seen a CNED Kang sniper battle yet today.
Yeah, not quite blessed with it. Might be coming up soon though. Both players in position. Much harder shot to land though. Warp into the face of CNED. You do not want to be peeking through that one. Kang looks his way up. Chichi was already there, way ahead of him. Making sure to cover. Firepower's there. First picks slow and steady as you go for EDG. So far, it's worked out in their favor. Just barely spots the leg. Damaged under cracks, drops him down to 5 HP.
And a captain incentivized to go aggressive. In a round like this, you got to take risks. It's not similar to the previous, where you wanted to minimize.
Bring them.
EDG putting a slow squeeze on FUT right now. It's working.
Both Prowler's going to be committed. They know that there's at least some presence out towards the hook angle. Util going to be used to push them back here. And the captain is very much alone in this spot.
30 seconds left.
Without too much to work with. Another round where EDG to get this plant down. Ults are really starting to become a problem soon as well.
Yeah, massive issue. I was wondering if Kankan would even get the plant here, actually, to get his showstopper online, but I'm pretty sure he feels comfortable being able to pick up an ult orb. Captain going for a dance, seeing if he can get any closer to a range where the Stinger's favored.
He'll advise, though, to really just tango with this guy, Kang. Again, just so keen to lock down those angles. Earns up the showstopper. One away from a multitude of ults now, too. Nobody close to the Thrash. One away from the orbital strike as well for Smoggy. EDG, at this point, are primed and ready to run away with a half.
Yeah, I think this should be them dominantly winning the half here. The last 2 rounds. They do have to drag some ults out of FUT. I mean, last time FUT pitted towards short. EDG might want to either have some counterplay around that, go in the opposite direction. We can see that EDG is going to try to mix it up and pit B long.
Very aggressive. Is he going to be using a showstopper? Smoggy shuts us down mid-air, but it's exchanged evenly. 4 versus 4 now, and with that play being made, you could call for the fast pivot if you are EDG. Simon, this time though, choosing the creep and crawl his way in through showers, taking back that control, swapping it around with the weaponry, no noise made. Control gained, and as EDG just seeks to get that mid-round information, he will be punished out of captain. Molly has to rebound, and they know exactly where it is. It's blood in the water, and EDG are keen for it.
Another situation where EDG gets punished going for that. And EDG's ults looking insurmountable at this point. FUT backing up. Their economy's in shambles. They're about to enter the final round of the half. They need 5 rounds. It's not looking likely, though.
No.
Ever since EDG slowed things down, FUT have had no answer. Their ability to gain information on the defense side here has not been through coordinated util retakes and reclears of areas. It's just been peeking in. And I think that's because EDG have been doing so much contacting. They're contacting around the map with Kangkang's operator as the tip of the spear.
You already know that's a bad idea. Money is blooming and blossoming. I mean, Kangkang does not care about giving his own life away. He just wants to take the guns away from FUT themselves. With nobody dropped as well. Believe he has his ult online. Yeah,
if CNED had the money at any point in this half, a defense side op would actually be a good idea. But he's never had the economy to get one online. It's a great kill from Smoggy. If that had gone down untraded, you know, maybe the round's a little different. But to be honest, it's just all looked like EDG in control.
Yeah, it has. As you mentioned, as soon as they slow it down with the operator in hand, I mean, sometimes, you know, that's the thing that beats EDG, is that slow play, running out of options when they don't get given those. He's at the point now where EDG, look at him, I mean, he's flexing his wealth. He's swapping around the weaponry like nobody's business. Rifle at your feet.
You get an op, you get an op.
Exactly. And they are grouped up fully over towards A here, so EDG potentially thinking about cooking up a play to punish a defensive pit if it was laid down by EDG, but he's nowhere near this A site. And that gives free ground for EDG. Smokes are down. Thrash now going to be used. Orbital strike to clear just out that potential player. Snakebite up and around to the side here. There is no showers control for EDG. That is it in the danger zone. Plant down now. Nobody going to be aiming to get that one, but it's pre-fired down and away. And the pit, a bit preemptive here from EDG.
Very much so.
Yeah.
It's going to stop them from controlling really important sightlines. It's going to make it much easier for FUT to deny plant.
The A side is just entirely split up in twine.
If they go through the teleporter, EDG is waiting.
This is really where it gets awkward. Start to see the untested nature of these compositions as well, because, I mean, hesitancy, to me right now, is looking like a bit of just uncertainty of what to do into this spot here. They know that Showers is a problem. They can't quite clear it again. Nobody going to go for a second round of things. Wingman back online. Nightfall called. FUT want to fight. This time held down as the rifles in hand. Running and gunning at a captain. Brings down nobody. Right from behind though. Smoggy strikes back. And one left alone. It's EDG. Once more asked to do way too much. They don't even want the A side. Taking it. Okay, I mean TP.
That's so tragic from EDG's point of view. He was in hookah the entire round. If only he'd waited there, maybe he could have caught Kankan, but of course he
10
rotated.
seconds left. Spike planted.
He is going to be unexpected. Having said that, Smoggy's watching.
Yeah, he is. Might have even spotted him there. Unorthodox angle. EDG's got a lot to clear. Lot to clear, not enough. Not just with the Bulldog in his hand. So an 8-4 finish. Felt almost preordained, I think, from the way that EDG were playing that one.
Switching
Another
sides.
strong showcase here for Bind.
Lovely performance from EDG. It really is. They're looking strong to try to close this one out.
Thirty seconds left. One enemy remaining.
In a major way at Champions. We've already seen Trace do it with Vitality.
Oh, yeah.
This is another EMEA team looking to fall here to the #1 seed from China.
And EDG looking to shut down the naysayers, the doubters, but bullet straight to the dome into Kankan. Be holding your breath a little bit longer.
Certainly looked from our perspective like that was through a smoke.
Gone here.
CNED wants to square up to this one here. He's trying to be cool, calm, and collected with the aim, but
did
not
get
really
one.
enough to survive. He did get the one before the trade comes through. Instant reaction, FUT make their way over towards B, but the Spike is, I guess, different ideas about it. Mr. Fallen's moving in a different direction. They know that A is completely opened up here with the TPs heard and called. EDG now have lost all semblance of map control.
And FUT planning for the backside here. Flipping the map in a way that they really struggled to on Lotus, but here on Bind, understanding how important that is. Krax is in a great position to backstab, as the rest of EDG should be focused on going down short.
You can hear the footsteps. Fallen catches it, sees the two of them. Mosh still available, ready and waiting for this, and striking from behind, Krax. Happy to deliver the death blow, at least to Chichu. Flashes in util, a little bit too much to overcome. Tapping away with a ghost in hand. Smoggy is crouching for dear life, and even just returns the fire himself. 2v3 though. They need a lot more where that came from. Time starting to get away from them. Ada Captain again will ward them back. Dropping the two of them. Pissed around for FUT. Grants them that lifeline.
They needed that. If there was any chance of coming back into Bind, pushing things to sunset, which would also be a brutal map for FUT. I think it's probably EDG's best, the decider here. A nice opener from CNED. That one starts to get the job done. CNED himself is going to pick up a Vandal heading into the next round too. And EDG full stacking the B site. Now, when I said earlier that their B defense is good, this is not the standard, but I think their B defense is going to be pretty potent here.
Trip it up holding. Even trying to take that fight straight up.
He won it.
Yeah, he did win it, but the rifle's going to be retrieved. But you have to worry about this, cutting up these angles. Ada Captain, Molly at the feet of many of them. Smoggy, hello, that was just not coordinated in the slightest. Ada Captain is having a field day. He's farming up multiple kills. Just needs to keep this rifle going.
He really does need the rifle. He's got reinforcements coming back along, so they might be able to recover this.
Okay.
Or throw it away, perhaps.
FUT tried to supply the reinforcements and already did supplying the bodies. EDG now. An opportunity. They don't want to let this one slip. It's FUT that are already the ones who have made it nice and open. Possibility for them. Backing away this time, though. FUT want to play this one with more discipline. Crossfire set up nade. Just rebounding. A lot of angles to clear. Simon's going to be trying to take that first point of contact. Defuse. Trying to stick this half. Dizzy dealt with again, but the adjustment and the rifle aim not quite there from the EDG players. Definitely did some damage, don't get me wrong.
FUT will be very happy that the Vandal got delivered back to them as well. Kankan picked that one up, and so FUT can save it into the next round. It is going to mean, though, that two players have got to sit there with pistols. Whereas if the bonus had gone a bit better, they would have had full 5 rifles online. EDG doing damage to the economy. The only downside was, Adacaptain got so many kills, he's kind of getting close to that orbital strike. He's only 2 away. Could get into a good position with it, and then make a very unwinnable post. What a shot from CNED.
Okay, if he's firing like this, it's not just a chance. They might even be able to take this map. Shutting down a star player of China. Growler gliding past, could bait somebody right in here in the footsteps, maybe. Simon's back onto the angle.
He knows this is fake pressure in showers now. This is great information for Simon.
And he's moved right past it. EDG might be getting a closer look and a tango. Simon does not expect it. The game of those timings, they both thought that they had the read, but it's EDG who comes out on top. Even if he did just have that pistol in hand. Never to push this one back now. No plant denial, so Mr. Fallen gets that extension.
Right
EDG is scattered of only 3 of them left. They've already made the call to just not even play into it.
Wow. What a disciplined decision there to just save in a 3v5. I mean, obviously, you've lost 2 players. It's going to be very difficult. And I think the other factor that might be playing into it is that if you go for this, you take the opportunity and you lose. Well, between that failed retake attempt and the eco that would come afterwards, Mr. Fallen, CNED, and Adacaptain are all going to get up to their ults.
Exactly.
So not only would you lose the round, likely, but you would also send yourself spiraling away.
If you've been watching Valorant at any point this year, you know it's going to be a death blow sentence. You can't let this composition get going, generating the ults, because at that point you're generating execs. Possibilities. Plays to be cooked up. FUT convert that bonus round. The economy booming.
And off the back of that guy there, CNED.
Yeah.
And this opener was fantastic. We've seen a couple of odd moments from CNED today where he's missed some spots where you expect him to get it. But most of what we've seen from the Turkish superstar is excellence. I mean, he's been going around, taking shots, opening sights up for them on the entry. It's the rest of the team that needs to step up around him, I think, if they want to make this comeback a reality.
Rolling back the years a little bit, CNED. These kind of performances. One of 4 players at this event that could potentially lift the 2nd Champs Trophy.
If FUT are the team that lifts the 2nd Champs Trophy.
I mean,
CNED wasn't favored to lift the 1st one. That one came out of nowhere with Ascend in 2021.
Very, very true.
But it is Champs. I mean, that just shows you the fact that CNED has that trophy, shows you a lot of it is about turning up at the tournament. Having that form, having that excellence when it matters. That's what all the Chinese fans are hoping EDG can do as well. Oh. But Kankan's going to get shut down. That light armor not helping.
Yeah, a bit of miscommunication, I think, as well, that sightline was open. Right for the taking here, FUT. They're pouncing on the chance. Another plant down, 2 players left to stand. Smoggy might just want to save this rifle. Simon can go hunting, poking around, maybe see if he can take some guns out of hands of them. But again, the question remains, do you want to be generating these ults for them? Because 1 away, CNED, Mr. Fallen. They're holding on to these angles. Fallen's got it.
And CNED could play for an ult orb, really. I mean, both are accessible to the attackers. So I don't think it's necessary that he goes and hunts this down, but he's going to go for it anyway. A death is fine here, by the way.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, he's got 5K in the bank, so ult for the next round. Happy with it.
And EDG probably going to be able to get a buy together even if Smoggy does go down, so it's not do or die for FUT to chase this Vandal in spawn.
But the trouble is, EDG at this point are losing track and grip of the series, or at least the map, I should say.
The map, for sure. The series is still looking good with them taking away FUT's map pick on Lotus. Like I said, Sunset, EDG, they'll be feeling really confident about that. At the same time, you'd love to close things out in 2 if you are EDG, who are currently taking an attack timeout to make sure that this doesn't snowball even further out of control.
I mean, so it was already an 8-4 half at the beginning.
And you win pistol, you win bonus, and suddenly you're right back in it as FUT.
Exactly.
And this is not like that when the other team has massive attack ultimates.
That might be occurring.
Oh, what a read.
Yeah, this is a high-low setup out towards truck. They might be just trying to beam down CNED if he tries to make the move towards it. Mosh, unconventional location for it. Jump spot and haunt. Right, bound and through. Thrash is going to try and lead the way, pave a chance potentially for them to get themselves into their site. Kang forced and pushed back and away. Chichu playing spoiler. Rifle sprayed down. Barely escaping off to the side as well. This fight's happening all over the bloody place with a spike in his laps. Chichu might have done enough. Just needs to back away and survive here. Barely getting around the corner. Rifle reload on point. Spam through the corner. This guy is low. But the damage done, as I said prior,
he's going to get caught.
Might be enough.
Can he take another
one? Yeah, I mean, there's fire from every single avenue. Reclear cord, EDG trying to go with this one. A bit more pace as well. That's Dizzy and TP. Reclear around. Cned, he's offloaded the ult as well. And now everybody scatters right to the wind. This is just sloppy gaming.
He's one shot as well, one Vandal body shot, and he goes down in that situation. He's popped the ultimate there just to try to stabilize the round. So it's a 3v3 at the end of the day, and I think EDG will be super happy about how this one has turned out. As bonkers as it seemed, they've actually reset into a situation where they can win. They've even got the read correct. 2 players defending A.
With 20 seconds remaining. Time becoming an issue. Rotating away though. Simon Haunt didn't see anything. He thinks it's towards B. And there is that Marsh, nobody. Waits it out, EDG's planting, there's nothing to clear this one away. He's just trying to walk up onto the angle. He does spot him, weak enough. Bullet to the chest, as you already mentioned. Now down to that 2 versus 3. Mosh overhead, Dizzy alongside it. All combined. Wingman, get that first tap, force them out wide, Simon. That is a Ferrari peak on the swing. Coming straight to the defense, jumping, hopping up onto the box. EDG, they stem the bleeding.
Frustration for Cned. They had massive advantages in that round, and EDG took it away. Did they play something proactive? I mean, not necessarily at the start of the round. They had 4 players stacked over towards A, recognizing that Thrash, Showstopper, most likely going to be used either hookah or short. Pick one, short. All right, we'll stack A. But then the escapades through the teleporter.
Yeah, cue to Benny Hill theme, I think. That's just...
But it worked out.
It did. It did. Sometimes that's what you need, an injection of that Chinese chaos that the region is known for.
And now very different ults to come online. FUT close to ones that are good in the post plant, not ones that are good to open up a site. Whereas EDG are just starting to get to their first of everything. Double stack up towards hookah here. Going for a push, EDG. It's all about timing.
No way. Trying to take this one again. Contact play once broken. Good adjustment with the rifle lane, but it's traded. So 4 versus 4. That's where we stand in round 18. Smokes up in their face. FUT. They have the position. Could try and explode out into this one, and they're going to do just that now. Nobody's got to push this one back and away. Prowler in his face nade as well. Got to respect that. Tiptoeing around most of this util. Falling with the plan as well. That's Wingman sprayed. Down and away. Another chance here, but do they have a second wave of util? EDG might just try and put a stop to it. No, out of Captain gets that extension and an ult earned over the strike to carry forwards into the next. It's good into this post plan. FUT might be favored.
They still have Molly as well.
Control over lamps. Held down, pre-fires around, C's dropped, and players alongside it. This is EDG winning this one out, forwards and away, rifles, crouch and spraying out of Captain. He has no time or rest to take this one. Simon with the tap, it does force out that over the strike, but Kang, my God, man, running them down. And EDG, they take away another one.
Very tight spacing there from EDG. Good coordination, good discipline, and hitting their shots when it matters too. If FUT had maybe been able to respond in lamps, the round could have been very different. But they weren't. 2 players, one caught by the C's, the other flicked onto. Cine could not trade. In terms of the rifle skill today, EDG have turned up to a higher degree, I think, than FUT. Not every player, EDG and Cine still holding their own.
Probably be an upset. I think most people were panning this one to be quite a close match, but a strong start for them. Out of the gates. Yeah. Is kind of necessary for champs here.
EDG 1-4 across Madrid and Shanghai. So that shows you how desperate they are for a win.
It's been dire this year. EDG drop down and lay down that pit. FUT do not have big ults to try and clear their way through this one.
And they're just kind of looking at the pit, wondering whether they should be going inside it, pressuring it. They have no showers control. Normally, if you're going to pressure a pit like this, you need showers.
And this is where I think the weaknesses in terms of the amount of time FUT has put into this comp might be showcasing. Wide open just from the inability, I think, just to pass through some of these defensive setups. Kang with the op. Posted back up. Chances now at a captain. Top of the fountain. Needs to stay alert. Doesn't know which angle it's going to be. Barely a leg spotted out and through.
Even if you pressure him, though, he's got the showstopper in his back pocket.
Yeah.
So you can't run him down this time.
So we can afford to play this one a little bit more close. Nate doesn't even catch onto the corner. I mean, seeing it's failed to even clear this one here, it's used as a response. At least EDG going to be getting util pulled back out of them. B-long control is conceded and given up. Wingman spots it. Nobody. You're really going to try and take this fight. Live and true here. It's a showstopper. It's already used preemptively. 25 seconds left. The door's open, wide open. FUT. Doesn't matter, man. Slow play all you like here. Stumbling EDG. Struggling to even put a stop to it. TP pivots though, round and round we go. Smoggy, he's ADS'd, he's locked it up. Pit dropped down to try and get them into spot as well, but the molly stopping them from even getting this plant down. Barely enough time on the clock to do so.
But now that they have secured the plant, the round almost unwinnable. Smoggy was the last chance, the last hope for EDG. Their B defense collapsing a little, and FUT with a nice pivot through the teleport.
I'm just scratching my head at that.
At which part of it?
I mean, EDG's defensive B, I think, is that they had every single tool necessary to stunt and just stop any sort of exec, and they used it all preemptively.
Yeah, normally, like I say, normally they're really good at being able to hold multiple cycles of that util. I think the big problem in this round for them was that nobody tried to hop back inside.
Simon,
I mean, there's no
way. There's just no way, mate. Yeah.
Our first ninja defuse at a global event. I don't think that's likely. Yeah, the hop back into hookah from nobody, I think, was our first, listen, the first that I've seen, first nobody feed of the day. I know he's 4-15 at the bottom of the scoreboard, but he's, you know, he hasn't been throwing his life away too much. But this one,
yeah,
walking back into the haunt, back into hookah, instead of backing off with the rest of your team, I think he was worried about maybe the Brim ult at his back.
It's a strange one. Bit of a head scratcher. EDG, now they're the ones who have to make the risks. Deep smoke, Prowler, Dizzy, through, gets that connection. They hear the footsteps running all the way around, ring around a Rosie. Mr. Fulham with a rifle, tried to pre-aim onto the corner, but he's going to get postured and pushed back. Out and away, EDG have control, deep flanks occurring all through the middle of the map here. Might be looking to try and take that fight, and the call is made by FUT to refight. They don't want to flip the map at all, just trying to take it with the weaponry, but does open them up to risky plays. Kang's from behind. Prowler in their faces. Other captains watching. No way. The time is just about missed, and he hears it. Sound cues around. Chaos incarnate occurring before our bloody eyes. Stingers away. Molly dropped down. Noise and time. Ball, but the shot's fired and missed. The sheriff in hand. Kang just cannot make it work. This is, as I said, all over the place. Chichu. Know where he is. They know they lost control of this one, but it is controlled in the end by FUT to bring it to that 10-10.
Both teams winning vitally important rounds and then being able to secure follow-ups. So that the ults, I say secure follow-ups.
One bullet left. Hey up, Chichu. There's no way, right? There's absolutely no way. 1v2. Taking a peek at a captain's way ahead of it again. He pokes his head out. 1v1. You can't be letting him get away with this. Not in the slightest. Pre-aim into the wall again. Another reload online, but this is so damn precarious. Retreat by Cracks. Backs away.
At some point, Shishu's got to go for the spike.
When does that timing come? Peeking through again. Uncertainty at the back of the mind of Cracks as well. Spots it. But just a fade away shot, man. It is so damn messy.
Don't count him out of any round. My mistake there, assuming that FUT had got that one sealed up. Wasn't familiar with EDG's eco game, apparently. 10-10 though. Both teams have let slip opportunities. It looked like FUT had a huge one to be able to get back into the game, and it looked like EDG had it. You know, they were 10-8 up, ready to run away with things. Both teams fighting tooth and nail to stay in here on Bind. And this is looking like it's going to be an A execute.
Or at least a shower's take.
Well, the Mosh as well. The lineup thrown.
Get him, wingman. Face your
Now a Nightfall as well. Going to be used to supplement. In through the back of the side, Kang. It's an off-angle hold, in through Lamps as well. Has to be cautious, and he's worried, but still takes the peek and the timing. Trying to make a go of things here. The call is made to try and fight this one. Showstopper in the hands of CNED. There's the danger. Kang, though, he's weaved his way past most of this, and it just glides straight past him. Whistles through, a tap away. EDG able to offset it, at least with the movement. Survives another day here. Chichu, though, rapidly approaching out for the side. There is chaos. Again, occurring before our very eyes. Chichu, he's isolated. Caught into the corner. Out through showers here, just trying to make this one a bit winnable. Nobody to defuse is going to be pushed back and away in a rifle spam. Not enough. No players are FUT surviving. EDG get that 1-round lead now, up to 11.
Another one of those scrappy situations where EDG come out on top. Eventually, situations like that just come down to individuals and how much you can get value from your position. Could you have imagined Kang getting more value from his spot?
No.
Swings out from Lamps, manages to delete Ada Captain, evades a Showstopper, gets another pick inside as well. CNED trying to make a similar thing happen by walking inside the one-way, seeing if he can surprise EDG. The impact difference from the two Raze players was enormous in that spot. And then FUT on top of that lost a bunch of just straight up duels. They're going to need another big one, and they're set up for a B execute. They have Thrash. Last time they tried to take it short, this time looking somewhere different.
You just got to be scared of this. Here's that one. Snakebite dropped. Let's break it with the Thrash there. A lot of bullets, though, going to be gliding right past, along with the Dizzy. That's a connection haunt. Nothing to offset any of this util. FUT getting full value from this one, but they can't get into the back of the site. Doesn't even matter. They'll let the util do the work. It's a seize. It's Molly's organ being used in conjunction on one another, and with the rifle aim in hand, it's the only thing that could steady the course. EDG got to put a stop to this. Uncertainty here still. Kang rattling the bars. This guy unleashed, and Ada Captain now to do so much more, pick up the pieces. One player left still onto the side. He's got to know that Smoggy might be here. Haunt's there, picks up the spike, reload. Not even tapping, doesn't even expect it, but now knows. Isolating the fight into the 1v1. And another tap here, Smoggy. How the hell do you play this one? Ada Captain not expecting, still trained onto the angle, but Smoggy finds it. And the 12th round, eventually, it was a laboured course to get there. But EDG smiled on their faces.
Smoggy is putting on a masterclass in terms of his smoke utility here as well. The smoke that he's putting down on the left side towards Cubby is actually allowing them so much control over backside. Look how difficult it is in these replays for FUT to try to break through that when they peek. They're not going through the smoke. Smoggy pierces the Merc, is able to actually be able to deliver them the final kill in a 1v1 clutch. Kang back to the old classic, the old reliable of the op and the Showstopper. They're leaving him B-side completely to deal with on his own. Everyone else on EDG stacks A, making the read.
Is he still getting that connection? Nobody will pick that one back up. They're leaving Lamps nice and empty just because of that orbital strike. Ada Captain holding on to it. Don't want to fall prey to it.
How are FUT going to get the read that there's 4 players on this site?
Nobody's hard committed. Smokes are primed, now going to be dropped down here, now the orbital strike alongside it. So, space does have to be given up with the Haunt up and over. Reveal onto the 2, Nade's going to rebound. CNED, you are so damn vulnerable. Up still, trying to play off this util. He's been dropped, orbital strike now going to be earned and now going to be used on either side here. There's a skirmish occurring, Shower's control is EDG's, and with it, the round, almost inevitable. Ada Captain, a mad dash away, but into the open arms. EDG, a 2-0 finish, but our opening